Have you ever wondered how a happy and thriving household could turn into a scene of unimaginable horror? The Bever family's home, once filled with love and laughter, became the site of a nightmare on a single fateful night. It was July 22nd, 2015, in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, a quiet neighborhood where nothing out of the ordinary ever happened. But that night, the silence was shattered by screams and an act so horrifying that it shook the entire world. This is the story of a family torn apart by betrayal, where death came from within Bever family massacre. On July 22nd, 2015, 16-year-old Michael Bever and his 18-year-old brother, Robert Bever, carried out a gruesome attack on their family. They murdered their parents, two sisters, and two brothers while attempting to kill another sister, leaving a 2-year-old sibling unharmed. The Bever family lived at 709 Magnolia Court, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. The family consisted of David Bever, 52, the father who worked in the tech field; April Bever, 44, the mother who homeschooled the children; Robert Bever, 18, the eldest son; Michael Bever, 15, the younger brother; Crystal Bever, 13, the eldest daughter; Daniel Bever, 12, the second son; Christopher Bever, 7, the third son; Victoria Bever, 5, the youngest daughter; Autumn Bever, 2, the youngest child who was spared. Neighbors described the family as reclusive, but friends painted a different picture. In an interview, a friend of April's recalled her kindness, recounting how she once drove through a snowstorm to deliver a TV to the friend's son when his broke. The murders, according to court documents, shortly before 11:30 p.m. on July 22nd, 2015, Crystal Bever went to Robert and Michael's room to remind them to do the dishes. She saw them wearing body armor and noticed multiple knives laid out on the bed. Crystal overheard Michael ask, "Should we do it now?" To which Robert replied, "Yes." Michael distracted Crystal by asking her to check something on his computer screen. While she was distracted, Robert suddenly slit her throat. Crystal fought back and ran out of the house, but she was stabbed multiple times and dragged back inside. Detectives believe Michael dragged her while Robert stabbed their mother, April, who screamed during the attack. April was stabbed 48 times in the face, chest, neck, and arms. The brothers then turned their attention to their younger siblings. Christopher and Victoria had hidden in the bathroom after hearing the commotion. Michael tricked them into opening the door by pretending that Robert was going to kill him if they didn't help. Once the door opened, both children were stabbed to death. Christopher suffered 21 stab wounds and Victoria endured 23. Daniel, who had managed to call 911 and hide in his father's office, became the next victim. Michael begged Daniel to open the door, claiming Robert would kill him otherwise. When Daniel opened the door, Michael told Robert, "He's all yours." While Daniel was still on the phone with the 911 operator, Michael grabbed the phone, said, "Hello," and smashed it before Robert stabbed Daniel 21 times. David Bever, the father, emerged from his room during the attack. He was stabbed 28 times in the back, chest, and abdomen. The brothers left only Crystal, who survived despite severe injuries, and 2-year-old Autumn, who slept through the attack. The arrest after committing the murders, Robert and Michael fled into the woods behind their house. Police arrived on the scene around 11:30 p.m. and, with the help of K-9 units, located and arrested the brothers. Michael was bitten by a police dog before being taken into custody. Both were charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated assault and battery with a deadly weapon. They were denied bail and remanded into custody. The plan? Robert and Michael's plan was to kill their family silently and then go on a cross-country killing spree. Robert admitted in court that he intended to decapitate their 2-year-old sister, but forgot. The brothers planned to record the aftermath of the murders and upload the footage to YouTube. They intended to clean up the crime scene by cutting the bodies into pieces, storing them in bins, and placing them in the attic. Afterward, they would continue their killing spree. They had ordered multiple firearms and 2,000 rounds of ammunition, which were scheduled to arrive at their home the day after the murders. Their ultimate goal was to kill 50 to 100 people between Oklahoma and Washington. The trial and sentencing. Robert Bever. Robert pled guilty to all charges and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for each of the 5 murder counts. He also received an additional life sentence for the assault and battery charge. He reportedly pled guilty to avoid the death penalty. Michael Bever. Michael pled not guilty and appealed the decision to try him as an adult. His lawyers also filed a motion to seal the case from the public, arguing that it would subject Michael to intense scrutiny. Both motions were denied. While in jail, Michael kept a journal described as morbid and violent. During the trial, he was found guilty on all counts and received 5 consecutive life sentences, with the possibility of parole after serving 85% of his term. His lawyers appealed the consecutive life sentences, arguing they were unconstitutional, but the appeal was denied. Aftermath: Robert Bever is serving his sentence at the Joseph Harp Correctional Center. He has tattooed LWOPX5, life without parole, 5 counts, on one hand and the word 5 on the other. Michael Bever is incarcerated at the Lexington Correctional Center. Crystal and Autumn Bever were adopted by the same family. 2 years after the murders, the Bever family home was burned down. The city of Broken Arrow built Reflection Park on the site in memory of the victims. A lesson for society. The Bever family massacre serves as a grim reminder that appearances can be deceiving. It highlights the importance of monitoring the mental and emotional well-being of those around us, particularly within our families. The Bever family's story is one of unspeakable tragedy, a tale of love, betrayal, and the dark depths of the human mind. But the question remains, what can we do to prevent such horrors in the future?